Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. It's the In Wheel Time car show, your weekly go-to all things automotive. Place howdy along with Mike out of this world Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. Do we have our guest there?
Almost.
We're 90% there.
We're 90% there.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Don't you? There we go.
He's got to clear the screen a little bit.
Audio, but
there you go.
Yeah, let's go.
Morning, guys.
There he is.
Manny
How you
Kapoor,
doing?
product manager, Mopar product manager for Wrangler and Gladiator. Manny, it's great to see you. Great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining us on your day off. We appreciate it.
Hey, I wouldn't. This is the only thing I would like to do. This is fun. I enjoy this.
Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
having me.
And we love the background. Are you
Nice.
Are you at home?
I'm at home. Yeah, I wanted to hide. The kids are sleeping. I figured let me go in the basement where no one's going to hear me because as soon as they hear a racket, they're going to want to jump in on the screen and.
You're not a company man or anything, are you?
A company man? What do you mean?
A company
Yeah.
man. I mean, we got the grill of the Jeep Wrangler up there.
He's got to show his 7-slot pride.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
it.
tell you what, that's pride and joy. You know what? That was a gift. We did a special edition for Red Rock, and you know what? This was the first grill that came off of one of the 50 units that we built for the club, and it was a little bit of memorabilia for me. And I got the picture here if you guys want to see it for fun.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Swing the camera around.
I need that grill.
Yeah, we all need
I'll
that
tell you
grill.
what. So this was the vehicle that we built right here. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
Yeah, it was a special edition. It was a numbered vehicle. This was the one of 50. So we took that grill and I hung it up just as a memory. Yeah.
Well,
So the number one off the line is missing a grill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
no,
where
it's
it
in
is.
his
You'll find
garage.
it
Yeah, no, this is down in the basement.
Yeah, well, no,
Yeah.
It's the vehicle's in his garage.
Oh, the vehicle's upstairs. I got you. Well, Manny, so we wanted to talk to you today because it's time to bring in the Gladiator and get some Mopar tweaks to it. And I know that you've got a whole list of stuff that's ready for the Gladiator owners to actually accessorize their vehicle.
we got a lot of parts, and we started from one right back in 2018 on the Wrangler, and thankfully some of the parts transfer over to the Gladiator. We're well over 500 some accessories, and the JPP line, if you will, there's in excess of 200 parts, so lots to pick from for sure. So for those that were in Chicago seeing a couple of our new products or releases, the Sunrider is one of them. You guys get a chance to see that?
I have not seen it.
No,
Are we talking about the roof line?
Yeah, so what it really is let's say you're out and you have a hard top, and you want to get a little bit of sunshine. You got to pull over. You got to take off the freedom tops, put them in your trunk. What we did is we said, why don't we get the soft top and incorporate it with the hard top, and now you get the best of both. You got soft in the front, hard in the rear, and basically that flip top, our Sunrider allows you to roll it back, and it's very, very convenient. A couple of clips. It's easy to install, probably 20, 30 minutes. I got some pictures here if you guys like to see it.
Sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, what a great idea to incorporate both the soft top and the hard top together to make it convenient to open up to the sun. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, here we go.
And
So here it is.
are all of these parts available through any of the Jeep dealers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you can pick it up at a dealer, or we make it even more convenient. You can pick it up, with your vehicle when you purchase. So if you do it as a check the box option from the factory, we'll put it in the trunk for you, so it's available, and you can roll it into your finance. It's with the vehicle, $895,
Nice.
great price.
Oh, yeah, that's even better.
I love
That's
that.
even
Yeah,
better.
roll it in the.
Yeah.
Because $895 on a 7-year note is nothing.
Right, you're paying a couple of dollars a month, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
this is really what it is. Quite simply, when you're installing it, there's a couple of rails here. You got to put in a couple of fasteners. No drilling required. The important thing is there's a little bulb seal here. If you install it properly, men sometimes don't like to read instructions. But if you do follow the instructions, I can promise that you won't have any issues, no water leaks. It's a fantastic product. And it buttons up just like it would on a soft top. So what we did is we took the engineering of our soft top and we incorporated into this product. And like I said, we kind of cut it to incorporate with the hard top. And it's a great execution, and you can put it on and leave it year round. Here's the issue. Sometimes, someone lives in a place where they don't have garage space. Maybe they don't even have a garage. where would you store a second top? So we said, let's try to make it convenient. And, our approach is always solution-based to whatever problem one might have. But that was the angle on this product. But I tell you what, it's taken off exceptionally well. It's doing real well.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the Jeep hardtop now have 2 removable panels up there in the driver-passenger compartment?
Absolutely correct. So the Freedom Top, and that's kind of what I was alluding to in the beginning, that if you wanted to get the sun, you'd have to pull over and remove those, where now, at the flick of a wrist, much like a soft top, you could just, flip it with a quick flip wrist. And basically, these are the latches here that I'm pointing at. That's all it is. Those 2 little latches release it.
Okay, so it's not coming up, Manny. I don't know if there's another sheen or share button or something you need to hit, but just so you know, the pictures aren't coming up.
I'm sorry.
We love looking at you, though. That's it.
Well,
okay.
yeah.
I'm talking like you guys are watching.
Well, we're trying.
While he's doing that, I got a question now. This is only available through the dealership, because there are an abundance of aftermarket suppliers, shops that do work on Jeeps. Is this available to them, or would they have to get the product from the dealership to satisfy their customer?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here we go. Can you see
There
now?
you go. Yeah.
Operator issue. That's the problem. I'm only on coffee number 2, so I apologize. Here we are. So, like I was saying, here is the top, and here's a couple attachments. You got some bracketry, a couple of fasteners. Again, no drilling, easy install, and these latches here. Once you release those, it allows you to flip the top back.
So it's not the whole top; it's just the part above the front,
Driver and passenger.
Yeah.
Panels. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the things that I really did like last time I had a Jeep Wrangler with the hard top on it. I did have the 2 removable panels. I didn't know whether that was standard now with all of the hard tops, or whether that was an option with the hard top.
Did you take them off?
Yeah,
when you
no,
had it?
that's I believe that's a standard option. I mean, it's
Right.
standard with all vehicles, but this allows you to, have the best of both worlds, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. And the other thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that these Mopar parts, aftermarket parts, if you will,
Yes.
I don't even know. Really, can you call them aftermarket? Because I guess you could order your Jeep with these parts, and I guess some of them are dealer installed. Is that how that works?
Yeah, one might call it aftermarket, but really it's the OEM. We are the OEM. We're the factory, right? So let's not confuse things. Aftermarket, essentially, they're taking a vehicle and they're trying to fit their products into it.
Right.
As the OEM, we're making products that maybe we don't install in the factory. In a lot of cases, we do to make it convenient. We've got an upfit center, which is right across the street from the factory. We'll send a vehicle there and we'll make all kinds of modifications, right? We're always expanding. We're never sitting still. We're always looking for the next best thing. How do we make it better, improve what's already a great, experience? And we'll add those products right there in our custom shop.
Well, and Jeep customers demand the uniqueness of their Jeep. So offering you, I think you said before you had like 500 part numbers that are available for all the accessory items that Mopar or that Jeep sells for their trucks. What a better way for a customer to set it up for themselves so they're not seeing themselves drive down the highway in the other direction.
Well, Manny, to that point, generally, from my experience with Mopar, you guys always pick a vehicle and actually make that quote-unquote Mopar vehicle available to purchase. Do you have any currently in the offering?
You know what? We like to do that a lot. And what we'll do is some of these shows, you'll see them rolling around. And sometimes we make them available. We'll do like a buzz model. You see these like Mopar 20, 18, 19, they go back. We do that often. But what we do, or what we did in the case of Moab, is we took a vehicle and we threw some product on it. If you pay close attention to some of the products on there, some of them are not available today, but are coming soon. And I won't give it away, but there's a lot of things that we'll tease. And what we do is try to understand consumer likes, and that's where we get our inputs. We don't just make product, throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. We'll ask our consumers, do you like this? What don't you like? How can we make it better? What are your wishes? And that's how we kind of go around to develop product. And take a look at orange peels if you get the chance, and that'll give you a little bit of an indication of some of the stuff that's coming.
So, Manny, let me ask you this. And is there anything specific for the new 4XE? I mean, I know all the Wrangler parts, the Gladiator parts, things like that will fit. But I didn't know if there was something specifically for that model.
And that's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people ask, is there, unique parts? There's a handful of parts that are unique. For the most part, like you said, a lot of the parts carry over and they'll fit. What really changes the battery pack? So that'll change the floor, and that'll essentially change your mats and, the fits of other products. But what we wanted to do was make sure there was continuity. So we modified those parts. We made them also available for the 4xe. The seats changed. So what we did is we ran some new seat covers with our partner Catskin, right? So we do everything from bumpers, winches, rock rails, wheels, you name it. We don't stop. We've got something in pretty much every category. But if it fits on a regular, Wrangler, it's going to fit on a 4xe. And if it didn't, we modified it to fit.
Okay.
So if I have a Wrangler that's 3 or 4 years old, I can still retrofit this new stuff, generally speaking, that Mopar has to offer.
Yeah, for the most part, this stuff is reverse compatible. It'll go back to, the 2018. Now, granted, it's impossible to launch with every single product at day one, right?
Sure.
And there's always an evolution and, new products coming. But we try to make it, in the event something dramatically changes the vehicle, we'll make sure we identify it as, only to whatever year it may be. But for the most part, everything goes backwards and will fit.
Very good.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, and I guess the unique part about this is that this is the factory parts under the Mopar label. And so if you're, and I'm one of those kind of factory guys. I love the factory stuff. Always have. Not to put down any of the aftermarket stuff.
But this stuff's going to fit.
Well, I was thinking the same thing.
Because it was designed by the people who designed the vehicle.
Right.
Exactly.
And I've always been one of those kind of factory guys. Matter of fact, my C5 Corvette has some aftermarket stuff on it, but it's from the factory because it was actually made for the Z06. So even though my car is not a Z06 Corvette, it still has, like, the rear spoiler on it is for a Z06.
Crosses over.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about, like, with the Jeeps and stuff, you can get a lot of these parts. They fit so where they really don't look aftermarket.
No, they don't at all.
Like if you put a 10-inch lift kit on it, well, you know that somebody's been on aftermarket. So it just looks like it comes from the factory. It just has a little bit cleaner look.
Also, the great thing about Jeep is the wide range of years that offer that interchangeability.
Manny, Mike mentioned suspension parts. Does Mopar supply suspension parts as well?
Yeah, let's look at consumer wants, right? So the number one thing that consumers do when they get their Wrangler is wheels, lifts, tires, right? So we had to come out with a lift kit. I think we have probably one of the industry-leading products in terms of, off-road and on-road. We partnered with Fox. We've got one of their best, 2.5-inch diameter shocks. It's good for heating and, dissipating heat, actually. And the comfort is there, right? It does really well. We got one for pretty much every vehicle line in our Wrangler setup, and that's the first thing consumers do. So there are suspension parts. But, if I could take you to some other products, now that we're in the summer, we were talking about the Sunrider.
Yep.
One of my favorite products is tube doors. I don't know if you guys seen that. I could throw it up on the screen. But when you say factory fits, this is an interesting one because what we do is we take the factory latches, the factory hinges, and we use all those components to create these tube doors, which is a great aesthetic and comfort. If you don't like removing the doors and you feel a little, queasy about looking out and not having any kind of security blanket,
Yeah.
or if you have an animal like myself, I'm afraid that, you might take a corner of the heart and the dog rolls out. But this kind of provides some comfort. Let me throw it on the screen real quick.
Yeah, please.
I was thinking mother-in-law.
Well, I'm thinking my wife would be one of those. I'm not going if you're taking the doors off of it. I mean, I already know that that's coming. But something like this
Right.
Yeah, there you
might.
go.
Oh, yeah.
Tube doors.
Right?
Yeah.
So tube doors. Right. So when you're talking about factory, and I just wanted to emphasize, if you're going to do something, do it right. We like to make sure that the product looks like it belongs. You don't want to throw something on there and it looks like a complete anomaly. This thing was designed for this vehicle. Between our designers who are very, very passionate, if you look at this, it looks like it's straight, but they actually contour out. It gives it additional body, so it looks like it's got a wider stance. When you're sitting in the vehicle, it actually provides for greater comfort because you have more knee and leg room. Best thing about it, awesome armrest when you're driving, and you feel that sense of security if you don't want to drive with the doors
Okay,
off
here's
completely.
And you still got the wide
here's
open
a
to
stupid
it.
question for you. Where are the door
Yeah,
handles?
The door handles, look at this eject button right here. You grab that, and it'll toss you out like you're in
The
an
eject.
Now we're back to the mother-in-law.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm assuming that these tube doors fit on the door storage hanger thing that some people have in their garage that I know Mopar sells as well.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? You throw a couple of hooks in the wall,
these
into
would be
your
pretty simple.
studs, and they'll hang on there. It's not so bad. But I guess it begs the question. I'm surprised you didn't ask. Where's the mirrors, right? So, of course, we wouldn't leave that one alone. So what we did is we created some mirrors to attach to the doors.
Look at that.
So you got it complete. But, it's the accessory you kind of build upon. Here's an accessory for the accessory, and yet here's another accessory. So if you were looking for a half-door type product, what we did is we created these mesh covers, right, that go right over it.
Look at that.
So what does this do? It keeps debris out. It keeps water out to some level. I mean, if you're running a power washer, it might be different. But, I mean, for the most part, it keeps the water out. But it's the comfort of a half-door. And, for I think it's $250 for a set on a 4-door. It's very inexpensive.
Wow.
Just for these covers. But it's a great add-on, right?
I can see that.
With all of these add-ons and the accessories, specifically suspension that Mike brought up, what does it do to the warranty? Now, I've got you put a big lift on and the shocks and something goes wrong for whatever reason. Is that covered through Jeep?
And that's the best part. You guys keep mentioning about from the factory and not being aftermarket. Being the OEM, it's the same engineers that build these vehicles that are creating these products, right? So we honor the same warranty. We will not void your warranty. So if you were to buy an aftermarket lift kit, as an example, put on your vehicle and something happens and it's causing some kind of complications, that's not going to be covered. However, if you use ours, we know that it's validated, true, tried, and tested. We're going to stand behind it.
Gotcha.
And we're going to cover any issue you have.
Well, one of the cool things, too, at the Jeep dealerships, when some of these lift kits are delivered to the Jeep dealerships, they're delivered on the crate, but it's got all this Jeep branding on this wooden crate. So you go into their parts departments, and they're all stacked up. And a lot of times the customers will ask for that crate to come with the vehicle as well. So it's kind of a cool little bonus piece to it. They get this cool wood box with all the Jeep logos on it.
Commemorative.
Highly sought after. You're actually, a lot of people are fishing around. They're selling them on eBay or whatever it is. But it's a wood crate, but there's a lot of novelty in it. People use it for a toolbox, put their kids in it. I don't know, but it's a neat little
mother-in-law.
And we were talking about the tube doors last time. I mean, we were talking Wrangler, but you make that for the Gladiator also, right? I mean, that's
it fits on the Gladiator as well. You're right.
Yeah.
You got Gladiator, you got Wrangler. And that's just a small sampling. I mean, we could go on for days talking about the different products, whether it's lights or rock rails and, the little features that we add into it. Again, it's solution-based, right, or problem-based. You try to find, here's the problem, here's our solution. And we enjoy it. We have a lot of fun with it.
Well, the thing we learned going to some of the Jeep events is Jeep people are there listening to what your Jeep owners are asking for, and that's what you're developing through your accessory line is, here's what our Jeep owners are asking for, so delivering back to them what they want.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to do it. What's the point of making a product that no one's going to buy, right? We're not making them to put them on the shelf, and if it's a consumer want, those are the ones we're going to go after.
Exactly.
Well, Manny, the Gladiator is the hot thing right now, so anything specific for the Gladiator?
Well, if you look at the Gladiator, what's the real difference? Now you got a bed, right? So now what's really hot is the overlanding. We're trying to really move into the overlanding area. A lot of people are using these to go, off the grid, and, they want to camp for days. They want tents. They want bigger wheels to get them there. Again, the suspensions, the lighting's important. But a lot of the stuff that fits on a Wrangler is going to fit on the Gladiator. But it's really the cool things that we add for the bed of it. Like we've got this really cool toolbox, a deck system. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see that. I don't have a picture handy. But basically, it's a big box that goes into the bed. It's got drawers that are on rollers, and you could put your content, whether you're using it for construction or using it to go camping. It's got great storage, right? And that's kind of what we're doing is leveraging the opportunity of what consumers are using these vehicles for.
I look forward to having 4 of these delivered to us.
Yeah, exactly.
You tell me the colors. You pick your colors, and we'll see what we can do for you.
Yeah.
I got Dan listening here somewhere. I'll make sure I put a plug in his ear.
Yeah, Dan. Help us out.
Well,
and it's all available online to order through.
Yeah. most of our sales are from the dealer, right? So we don't sell direct to consumer. Our retail channels are our dealers. So go into your dealer, when you're in there going for an oil change, ask, hey, what do you guys have for accessories? Show me.
But you can shop all of that online, right? Through the Mopar
you can
brand?
shop it online.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all available. You can see it. We've got catalogs.
All can be installed at the dealership service department for you.
Yes.
Or hey, I'm still okay with a wrench and a screwdriver sometimes.
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, I've seen your screwdrivers. They're orange and yellow in early morning, but
I'm going to call Jeff. He'll help me.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Manny, it's great to talk to you. We really appreciate
yeah.
you taking the time out of your Saturday to talk to us. And
Good stuff.
Anytime. Thank you for having me, guys.
Stay in touch with us here. Let us know of any new stuff you got coming along.
You got it. Thank you.
Manny Kapoor, Mopar Product Manager for Wrangler and Gladiator. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. What were you going to say?
I was going to say there's a dealer down there just got a white Gladiator in. I like it. It looks really good, and I could see it with a few little things on it. Those tube doors and stuff.
Oh yeah.
My wife probably wouldn't see it, but I could see that.
It'd be one of those vehicles
Just
that you
don't
could
show her.
leave at the leave at the beach.
Yeah, leave it at the beach and just
Just say it's the
run up and down the beach.
It's the new golf cart.
It's just a bigger golf cart.
Get the 4E.
Can you imagine all the grandkids you could put in
I
it?
don't
and all
know.
that?
I guess I don't know if you could get the 4E in a Gladiator.
Not yet. Not in a Gladiator. You can get it in the Wrangler only. All right, time now for a couple of stories making automotive news headlines this week. Recalls to tell you about. Front driver's side airbag may not deploy properly in the Chevy Bolt, EUV, and the EV for 2022. Same thing for the BMW X5 for the 2019 model year. Occupant classification system malfunction.
What?
What the hell is that?
There's the little light that tells you somebody's sitting next to you?
I don't know.
Well, I think the new passenger side airbag systems will identify not only that there's a passenger in the passenger seat for the airbag.
Are you
to
guessing?
deploy. Yeah, I'm guessing. But it's also going to identify, the size of the passenger.
Oh.
He's guessing. Anyway, if you got a BMW X3 or X4 from the 2018 to 2019 model year, that's
Don't
for
guess.
you.
Go to safercars.gov.
Electronic brake booster may leak into the ECU on the Ford F-150
That's
for the
expensive.
2021 year
It's not good
model
either.
year. Unsecured wiring harness on the Lincoln Aviator 20 to 2021. And drive shaft may separate on the Ford F-350 Super Duty 20 to 21.
Is that a double shaft?
While you're pulling a 30,000-pound trailer.
But doesn't it have the double?
That'll go over well.
Oops, what happened there?
Honey, the horses just passed us.
Ford Motor Company rear suspension toe link fracture is possible on the Ford Explorer 2013 to 2017. Ooh, that's not good. Incorrect transmission overflow pipe and filter on the Mercedes-Benz GLK 250 for 2013. And the high voltage battery may catch fire in the Chevy Bolt EV 2017 to 2019.
A
Thermal event.
So go to safercar.gov and be sure and type in your VIN number, which you can find on your proof of insurance card.
Oh, you're supposed to have insurance?
You're supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Rebounding Mitsubishi Motors Corporation. I didn't know they were rebounding.
You wrecked my car.
Have you seen that ugly Outlander crossover? Oh my God! It's a throwback to the Aztec. Do you remember the Aztec?
Mm-hmm.
This is worse than the Aztec.
Worser.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
No pictures?
Apparently, the redesigned Outlander crossover fueled a U.S. sales surge.
Both
I
of
don't.
them.
They are not my neighbors, nor do I want them to be.
So,
There.
did you
There's
hear
that.
Nissan has announced the 2023 Nissan GTR is going to have a hybrid component of it, similar to what they used in the Le Mans Nissan hybrid vehicle.
Le Mans.
And the new R36 supercar is going to stick with the current R35's twin-turbo V6, but they're going to have a hybrid power booster on
Do
it.
you go to New York? Do you like New York? Anybody like New York?
I grew up in New York.
Did you?
Forgive
New York
me.
City.
Well, suburbs of the city.
Okay. Well, electric vehicle company Revel, R-E-V-E-L.
I used to have their little models.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Will privately build the car charging stations the city needs to support a future where EVs replace gasoline-powered vehicles.
Yeah.
Revel believes it can make New York City an offer it can't refuse. Hey, Tony.
Forget about it.
The electric vehicle company will privately build the car charging stations the city needs to support a future where EVs replace gas-powered vehicles. What the company wants in exchange is access to the city streets for its for-hire vehicles. In other words, an exemption from the current cap.
Well, that's New York. I'll give you something if I get something. If I get something that I like, I'll give you whatever you want. But I got to get something in return.
It's in powder blue.
I know a guy that knows a guy that's got a sister.
Tony No Thumbs.
Hey, forget about it.
Quick break now, then we're right back right here on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Stay with us.
Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the most sought-after models in the Houston area today. When you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, you now have a place to go. General Manager Lincoln Stahl guarantees Bayway will beat any competitor's written price on the new vehicle you choose or pay you $1,000. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is easy to get to on Highway 225 near Beltway 8 in Pasadena. Whether it's online or in person, you're welcome like one of the family. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in returns Saturday, August 21st at 2 Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurants in Katy and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods at 2 locations. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event at the Loopy Tortilla Mexican restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of I-10 in Katy, and inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway near Kirby. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Loopy founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in. Tailpipes and Tacos at Loopy's inside the Loop on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby, and in Katy on the Grand Parkway just south of I-10, where you'll see the In Wheel Time Car Show. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in at Loopy's in Katy and Kirby, August 21st, 8 to 11 a.m., weather permitting. You see all the new ceramic car wash cleaners on TV now, but John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield has been using ceramic coatings on Houston's most expensive cars for years, and he'll tell you that nothing beats the real thing. Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs a coating over your paint that actually comes with a warranty. If you just picked up your Lambo, your Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, any other exotic car, chances are your car will have company that have already found Gulf Coast Auto Shield. Now, you don't have to own an exotic. Maybe you got a truck, an SUV, or even an older vehicle that needs a little love. Well, let John Gray give it a look and give you an estimate on refurbishing that paint and making your vehicle look new again. How about getting a gift certificate for the wife's birthday or anniversary from Gulf Coast Auto Shield and tell her, honey, I know you love your car, so why don't we get it looking new again? It'll be the best gift ever, one that she'll never forget. Get hold of John Gray at gcautoshield.com or give him a call, 832-264-0670. Gulf Coast Auto Shield. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.